Officially, good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome out to the Options Income Launchpad. Sunday Market Insights. As everybody knows or should know, my favorite day. I look forward to it even more, like with the AI development we have going on. Here was my thought. Tell me what you think about this. Now that the model's really starting to get consistent, the Oracle, I'm calling it, humbly. The next thought was to ask the model, how would you improve yourself? Whoa, that could get scary. My thought is whether it's like, is there something you would add? Would you change the weighting of the scoring? Would you change the analysis? Add or edit? Yeah, I mean, that's the objective, right? Is to keep. What criteria would you add for it to evaluate the improvement? That's a good question. I think you would have to basically take the improvement or what the proposed improvement is. And then you would actually, my thought would be, I wouldn't run the improvement for a while, right? I would keep running my analysis. I would keep running it on my analysis, and then I would build a whole new separate model for the new analysis that it runs. Because he's saying, this is what I would do to him. Okay, well then do it, run it, put your score out there. You know, we would have the same baseline for the score so that we would see over the next 3 months, what is our scores? And then we look back and say, who did better empirically? It seems like an interesting experiment to conduct. Do you guys think? Takes a little extra time, but I think that would be interesting to see, because you're right. Like, you can't just be like, oh, he said it would be better if you did this. And then what, just switch? How do we know? We can't just rely on that. We know that. So we have to turn it into an A-B experiment, right? We keep doing ours. We keep letting it do ours. And then we let it do its own in a separate space. Doug said, how much are you paying? It's just I just have a, like a upgraded, not even one of the like best, just like a $25, $30 a month subscription to OpenAI, to ChatGPT. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I think that sounds actually very cool. So we'll look to give that a shot pretty soon. I still think we need a little more time for it to, really find its consistency in the current process. All right. Sunday Market Insights. I'm Scott. Disclaimers. Education, illustrative, no recommendations. We're not brokers. We don't give advice. Decisions made are at your own risk. Yeah, you can always take a screenshot if you want to see the whole thing. Of course, today we'll posture. Today we'll review the economic calendar. What are we going to have in front of us? We're going to identify. Here's what I want to do. And you guys are going to have to hold me to this and be like, Scott, don't forget you said we were going to. I want to identify the 4 sectors of the 5 growth. So we're not going to do all of them. We're going to just take the 4 we think are best. We're going to search 2 of them on Tuesday, 2 of them on Thursday. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you. Oh, good, Steven. Was that the right way to post it? I kind of did like the normal, here's our normal Sunday summary. And then I put the, here was the, long form. I do think it's helpful because the notes tend to talk about the what if in order to adjust, like what would it take to raise it? What would it take to lower it? Because then when we're in the week and I talk about how I sort of maintain a peripheral perspective on my posture as the market moves, like is this moving towards a higher score? We talk about it these days a good amount, but I do think it does a good job explaining some of that. Okay. Watch list maintenance for sure. I've been dropping some, and so we're going to keep dropping some today, this week. We're going to add them on Tuesday, Thursday, and then by next Sunday, I'll update the group watch list. It's kind of a pain in the butt. That's why it's not like a regular thing. It's easy to just take a screenshot and see it, but I'll post the formal one. And this week for trading plan, we've been sort of in a pause, evaluate, hopefully you guys have done this. It's easy to sometimes not do it, but hopefully you've gone in and you've gone through each section of your trading plan, 8 sections, and you've scored it 1 to 10, not like how good you think it is, because you might be like, well, how do I know? How confident are you in that plan, in representing what you do, in being representative of the rules, that the rules are good? Like, yeah, how confident are you? And when you're done, you put them in a prioritization order, right? Where you're like, oh gosh, I have a couple of 3s. Yep. Let's start there. So for the next maybe 4 weeks, we're going to just be in prioritization mode. Everyone's working on a different section, trying to get the plan above a 50. The total is an 80, right? The total is an 80. That's a 50 would be a mix of 7s and 8s. 7s and 8s. That's where we'd like to get everything in that plan to a 7 or an 8. That will score you a 50. 50 is a good score. If you said, Scott, what do you have? 75, 70? I'd be like, no, I've got a 62. I'm pretty harsh. I'm like, this could be better. This could be better. I can't remember. Actually, maybe it'd be a 66. I don't know. But still. 8s. Yeah. 64. 66. Okay. Let's get to it. Good morning to those arriving right on time. Nobody's ever late. Let's get Bob Rowland, my friend. Good to see you. Let me get the right roll. And good morning and happy Sunday to you, Gray Lynn. It's always amazing to have you and see you. Good morning, Tony Z. Always a regular. All right, let's get to it. Weekly market posture. How's the weather where everyone is? We got a good amount of snow. I don't know, 4 to 5 inches. It actually stuck, but I'm not shoveling. The sun will get it before I need to. It's about halfway there. 35 and sunny. That's not bad. Okay. Set up. Yeah, this is a pretty easy one. I mean, you can see that we're working off of my red lines. Whoops. Didn't give me my crosshairs. And I don't want that box. There we go. Okay. Nope, sorry. Just the trend score. This week's chart for analysis. Today is 1/11/26. So mine's definitely staying the same. 1.25. 41 in Jersey, 50 in North Carolina. Sounds like North Carolina's a little better. Let's see. Am I missing it? See, here you go. You can see it. It completely changed. What's going on here? Oh, I'm in the wrong section. I think. Hold on. Sorry, this might be my fault. I thought I was in the right place. I wasn't. That's on me. It's like, here we go. I was like, that looked abnormal. 95? Goodness gracious. You're melting out there. 111. Sorry, guys. 26. There we go. I'm going to have to go have it disregard that. That was in the wrong place. All right. While that's popping up, let's jump on out to the 6 month. And same thing here for me. It looks, whoops. It looks exactly like it has been. It's in the same place. Not strengthening, not weakening. For me, it's going to stay the same. Let's just kind of see what happened here. 1.25 unchanged. You can see not much there. For us, it was an easy one. Same thing with ChatGPT. It was an easy one. Let's go to short term. This week's chart for analysis. 111. Whoops. 111. 26. Okay, so far I'm a 125 and a 125. Did get a little bit of a higher high. I'm wondering if ChatGPT gives it a 1/4 of a point. Anybody change theirs? Let me know. Let's get a little collaboration going with these scoring. How do you see it? 1.5. Okay, that's fair. I mean, there's a couple of you. You guys are like, you're the one who's wrong, Scott. It's a 1.5. Oh, ChatGPT agrees. The short term strengthened a little as a fresh recovery high held up. Okay. All right, you guys. A resounding. I'm keeping mine at 1.25. What you think about that? 1.5. And you guys are also 1.5. Very nice. Let's move on to had a new high. Bob, I mean, I get it. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. And certainly the model picked up on that to give it an increase. Let me ask you this. Did you guys keep it at 1.5 or move from 1.25 to 1.5? That might be important to think about. Kept it. So you were at a 1.5 and kept it there. I'm at a 1.25. I'm keeping it there. GPT was at a 1.25 and is moving to a 1.5. Kept. All right, fair. We all kept our scores the same. Let's go look at volume. And my volume, I'm pretty sure, based on what I said on Friday, I'm going to keep it the same. We did not get, it was $1 million above average. It was not a scorable above average. But that's still, like, we can look at that and say, that's still pretty good volume for the buyers. It's not going to impact the score. However, you can see our last big pocket of volume is now really close to the edge of the chart. That volume is an active tie. I realize I'm starting to define it a little bit differently. So a little evolution. I'm now thinking about an active tie versus a passive tie. A passive tie would be you don't have any volume. And there are times where you'll see literally every single day is below the 20-day. That's passive volume. I would score that as 0. A passive tie. An active tie is when there is a struggle. Whether it's one tie day, which we have kind of this little floater out here to the right, or it's I have a couple of sell days, a couple of buy days, a couple of ties, or if I have one sell and one buy, there's a struggle and the buyers held their own against the sellers, and I'd say, ooh, tie goes to the buyers, right? And in that case, I would score it a 0.25. So I don't think I've ever explained it that way, but I think that at this point, that's my rationale really is we're in an active tie. There's struggles going on, and the buyers are holding their own or even a little bit more. We draw our line, starts here, ends here, and you can see a little upward slope. This is going to fall off, and right now we have this. So this is going to continue, even if it's just one day. It's an active tie. And the reason I say that is because this was a pretty substantial area. It dropped, held support, and turned, and the active tie was a big part of that. It was that transitional doji right there. That was very helpful in that. And so, yeah, right? So the next, if the next thing we get is a buy day, it's going to keep its tie for a while again. If the next thing we get is a sell day, that's probably going to pull it to a 0. So I feel like that's going to make it a little easier to score. But tell me if that adjustment is helpful. I know volume is always one that's a little bit more like nuanced, maybe is the word. It's an important one though, right? Because it really helps us identify price levels that become a little bit more significant than in the short term. Sorry, what is going on? Okay. This week's chart for analysis. 111.26. Go. The last tie is a 2-flop. Yeah. So yeah, for me, it was the last clump was a tie, right? This last clump was a tie, and then this one is a tie. So it's kind of like this is the next. The tie that happened back here, this is good to say. Where's my drawing tool? Draw. Okay. This clump here occurred during this sell-off / catch. It started to accelerate and then it caught itself. And you can see that this was a significant tie. And then the buyers got it, and then they got it one more time, and it was able to come out of that and get to a new high. And then it pulled back, and it was able to stabilize on this tie, and then do what? Get to a new high. So in this case, even though the buyers aren't showing that they're better, the tie is enough to be given to the buyers, 0.25. I think this is a great illustration of the concept. I don't think we would see it moving to new highs on a passive tie. The active tie is what's doing this. And so right now it's still going. So if the next thing we get is red, takes us to a 0. If the next thing we get is a buy, it means we're likely to keep that 0.25 for at least another couple weeks, it seems, right? Or something along those. Anyways. Okay. And ChatGPT says 0.25. Continuity. Oh, so it's up actually. Yeah, there you go. So, and just like that, ChatGPT has moved into a slightly more bullish position than me, interestingly. Interesting. Okay, let's see. Let me actually move this over here. And let's get this reloaded and this reloaded. Quick peek at the calendar, actually, while we're here. And we'll take a quick peek at the Fed watch while we're here. Fed speak on Monday. Nothing really there, I don't think. And then, like we said, I thought Wednesday, Thursday, but no. Tuesday, we've got CPI. 2.7, 2.6, expecting it to stay at 2.7. So now, if those numbers come in at, actually no, I'd say at probably isn't even good enough. If they drop a little, that might propel some Fed expectations a little bit. Remember, the Fed's targets too, they don't tend to, I mean, it's, I don't know. We'll see. But if they don't think it's coming down, if they think it's sticky, their likelihood of lowering interest rates again, especially when we had like a stable employment, it's very unlikely. Okay, so that's CPI. Then we have PPI the next day. This one's in a little bit more disarray from the shutdown. This is November's. Oh, what are we getting here? So we're getting December CPI. Remember that CPI was used in a Social Security COLA calculation. So they had to put that out, the cost of living adjustment. And so that one is now the December. So that one's on time. That's just last month's. PPI is still a month behind. So this could be interesting. It's a delayed report. And we don't have any expectations for it. 2.7 and 2.9 is where we were. So, yeah, I don't know. Wednesday could be an interesting day, potentially, based on that information. We also have Beige Book coming out. And then we have Empire State Manufacturing, some more Fed speak. A lot of Fed speak. Okay. To the analysis. Nope. It's an interesting thing. Sometimes this little snippet will see, it keeps doing it over there. I'm not sure why. It keeps opening. Keeps opening that little box. There we go. All right. Oh, except now I have the ad. Come on. Come on, stockcharts.com. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Okay. Let's move on to major market analysis. This week's charts for analysis 111.26. This one's always interesting to me as we go through it. I sound like Glenn. Because he tells good jokes? Is that what you mean? I don't know. What's going on? NASDAQ on top. Russell in a second position. Then the S&P, our watermark, and then the Dow lagging behind. Classic bullish structure here. Good foundation, but not enough to orient the score yet. Has issues with the charts. Oh, goodness. Perspective number 2. We have the Russell in a... Is the F10 a shortcut? Wait, is that true, Gabe? Holy, you could change my life if that's true. I'm going to look into it. You literally just hit F10 and that happens? Is that for Apple and PC or just PC? Let me know. That would be amazing. I wonder if you can just set a hotkey like that. Now that you mention it. Interesting. 3 cheers for Gabe today. Well done. Setting a hotkey. I think that's a good idea where you can just like bing one key and you're anyway. Okay, Russell's on top. NASDAQ is second. Again, S&P in the watermark position. Dow is below. Two perspectives look quite strong, quite bullish, but we score the 66. Okay, now we wondered about this. We wondered about this, and you can see that the Russell did indeed surge at the. Let me make sure I'm all the way over at the last minute into a leading position. Though the Dow is still holding. Now, what does that mean? It means that I don't think that the Dow leading in this circumstance in any way represents a defensive shift. So I get that there's a little bit of like discretionary application there. But that's, you can see they're all sort of moving similarly. It's not like we're seeing sell-off in NASDAQ or Russell and gain in the Dow. That is money flowing from one to another. That's defensive shift. Right now, we're seeing just various rates of bullishness. S&P or the Russell climbed into that leading second here, and you can see that the NASDAQ is actually starting to kind of move above. The S&P is last, which is interesting. Okay, let's take a picture. Oh, I don't think I took the 133. Hold on, 133. Did I? How many do I have? Nope, I only have one. Okay, so let's go to 133. Enter. Okay. Hotkey. Even though it's not F10, even just like building a hotkey instruction is probably worthwhile. So still well done. Anything we can do to simplify. I'd rather hit one button instead of 3. It saves me at least a second. I don't know. Does it? Take a picture of this. And then I'll tell you my score because I believe I am prepared to score. I'm very curious how you guys are scoring. Let's move this over, paste you here, and let's go take a look at this. So I was a 0.5. We had dropped, held, dropped. I'm leaning towards raising it. I'm leaning towards raising it back to 0.75. But I actually decided I'm not ready to make my score. I'm a tie. I think I'm right on the fence between 0.5 and 0.75. I'm not quite sure. And so that's a good rationale, Stephen D. It would be hard to argue with that rationale. I'm going to let the 22 give me my final verdict. 0.5. Easy at that point because here, Dow's still on top. Russell's trying. It's making an effort. The little soldiers making an effort. This reiterates Stephen's perspective of the NASDAQ at the 66 day. And it said, it's just not there. So I feel like the process prevailed. I had a tie. I was willing to consider it. And if it looked good here, I was going to let it edge me over because this is what's kind of coming at us. And this says, no, you can't do that yet. 0.5 it is. Beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay. Okay. Posture up. Bang. This one always makes me more curious because it's processing all 4 images. Remember we had to give one of them some instructional adjustments because it wasn't like processing it the right way. I'm keeping mine at a 0.5. Okay, so we're pretty in line. I feel like this is a fresh, clean read of this week's charts only using this framework exactly as top. Below is the summary. 0.5. Yeah. It represents rotation within an otherwise constructive market. 133 and 200 remain firmly intact. Still bullish, but less aggressive. Continuity downshifting from 1 to 0.5. You were not a 1. I just need to tell him that he wasn't a 1. Wait, where is it? Okay, sorry. For continuity, you were not a 1. You were a 0.5. So you held your score the same. Press. Holy cow. It's great to see you. Happy New Year. Hope you had some amazing holidays. Yes, I love that, right? Shows rotation within a otherwise strong market. Understand this. Okay, I love it, right? It's helpful. It does a great job. I don't know if you noticed, but we did a notes of the Oracle. We did a notes of the Oracle section in the website. So if you ever want to read through all of the explanations, I think it is actually quite educational to kind of like, okay, I'm connecting it now, like with why is it important? So anyways, again, it's great to see you, my friend. Okay, what's next? Okay, 0.5. Let's go to sector rotation. Okay. And let's get back here. What time is it? Okay, we're all right. We're all right. We'll have plenty of time. Get rid of the ad. And let's take a quick picture and then we'll talk about it. 1, 2. Okay. Technology on top. It's a good start, but there's only technology on top. At best, this could, with this starting point of 0.25. Now, if we start to see more things come in, then we could raise it up. But this is at best with that. Everything else is below. Now, who is below? Industrials, communication services, discretionary. So 3 of 4, and this could be our 4 that we're looking for, these 4 here, which would mean we would not include financials. Industrial, yeah, financials is lower down. Okay, let's drop it to the 133. Let's take a picture. And let's put it in. And what have we got? There's healthcare. There's technology. Now, healthcare is kind of the least defensive of defensive. So it's not like we're like, whoa, that's a money shift. And then you'll notice here we have discretionary jumping in. Late jump, strength from Amazon, propelling it into that position. So that's good. I would actually say that's a little stronger. Not enough to get me to a 0.5, but it's holding a 0.25 and you know, saying, hey, this thing is maybe, but again, when we score it here, if it looks the same or stays a little bullish, I'll have a 0.25. But if it shows defensiveness, it loses it that fast. A 0.25 is not enough, you know, from the foundationals. Am I not all the way? Yeah, I'm all the way. But thanks for checking, because oftentimes I'm not. Okay, let's go to the 66 and see. Okay, now the 66, we've got healthcare on top. Then we've got materials. We've got discretionary, industrials, energy, financials is kind of at. Yeah, I mean, we do have a couple, but it's a pretty mixed bag in there, right? You've got a inflationary pressure stock, material prices going up. Not necessarily, but right, typically material stocks go up when material prices are going up because they're making more money. So that's a little bit of like that's a little concerning. If you looked at this analysis back in like 2007, 2008, basic materials and energy were the highest, right? So it was like the market was still going up, but it was going up. It was like, that's why they, it's kind of a stagflationary thing. So we'd never like to see that. Little bit of hope down here. It could be more sales, giving them more money versus inflationary. Yeah, theoretically it could, absolutely. But I don't know. Fed's printing machine is getting fired up. Yeah, it could be. For me, I'm going to keep it at a 0. So I'm going to score it. Yeah, I'm going to keep mine at a 0. Don already said that he's a 0. The model was at a 0.25. So I'm curious. Let's get a picture of this thing. No, I want to start it a little higher for consistency. Okay. Whoops. Yeah, that's good enough. I think I got the whole thing. I think I got it. Let's just take a look and see. Sure did. All right. And we didn't need it, but we like to look at it, especially in honor of press. Whoops, that's 221 days. Let's go to the 2022 day. And materials are at the top. Pretty heavy spike. It's been there for quite a little while. Secondary is healthcare. We do have industrials trying to make a surge. We do have discretionary trying to make a surge. We have financials in the mix. So if that continues, and you'll notice who's down here at the bottom, technology. So I would actually say that based on let's take a picture of this. Let's go put it in. We'll let you start analyzing and we'll go back. So based on the 66, I would say I want to search financials, industrials, discretionary, and I might even say materials if it's going to continue. Let's add some defensiveness. Thoughts? That is true. Okay. Let's look at the 66 for our sector rotation searching. Materials. Yeah. Materials, discretionary, not energy. Financials. Yeah, I like it. And industrials. Done. We know our 4. Good. Quick peek at the Fed watch. Now our probability is at the 95%, like it is not. No one thinks it's going to get changed in January. Could that shift based on this next week's CPI and PPI? Yeah, possibly. But as of now, no expectation. All right. Whoops. Let's go see what he has to say. 0.25. Oh, that's where he was. He's staying the same. We both stayed the same. Ooh, except this is where I'm gonna take a vote, because it's not 66-day technology is not in a leading position along healthcare. The 66-day is healthcare alone, materials going into second. So does that mean we got a bad score and we need to adjust it? I think so. You analyze tech at the top of the 66-day. This needs to be reassessed. It is healthcare followed by basic materials. Tech is in the middle pack. Stephen, that's a good point. We did actually have to catch it last week, and it did stay the same. Oh, this time it dropped it. Okay, this time it said, yeah, we're going to drop it. A quick adjustment. Boom. Okay. Which means it's listening to what we want. Yes, right? Yes. Oh, wait. Are you saying what I want, meaning I want that number, or how I want it to analyze? I mean, maybe it could be a bit of both, to be fair. I don't want it to score a certain way, which is why I'm so curious of what it's going to say when I'm like, hey, let's evaluate how to improve yourself. AI is trying to guess what you want. They are designed to please us. That there is an aspect of that, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But I wanted to analyze correctly, which is why I just simply said, hey, this is not in a leading position. If that's what you saw, take a look again. And it said, yeah, it's in the middle of the pack, and it's this. And that would be a zero score, right? I mean, if technology were in a leading position with healthcare, which we actually saw that exact setup. And this is why I'm saying, yes, it could be trying, but we saw that exact setup as the market was, trying to hold on, and we actually scored that a 0.25. I've scored that. What's interesting is I think I actually put that in the prompt, Press, in my original, teaching it prompt, where it's like, you're not trying to blah, blah, you're trying to objectively, Yeah, I try to take that out anytime I ask questions. I'm like, you're not here to you're here to work. Okay, let's get to the VIX. Let's get to the watch list. And we'll call it a day. Please move. Yes, Gabe, right? You got to have that foundation of logic. That's great. I like the way you phrased that. Please me by telling me the truth. Good. All right, let's go back here. Let's take it to the 6 month. Let's get to the VIX. I said I'm raising mine 1/4 point. That, just to illustrate this, it's not arbitrary, right? Every one of these days, as it started to go back, I was looking for, is it going to close below the low of the previous day? Tested down there, but didn't close. And then the next day was here, and the next day was here. And it got close on this one. It got close, but it didn't. And then this one, close. This one, close. It closed. The low was 1465. It closed at 1475. Close, but didn't. Did. All the way up. We're just kind of like, hey, it's this sort of... And the theory, again, is if I go outside, I throw a ball in the air as hard as I can, when do you know it reached its highest point? When it starts to come back down. That's it. That's the mark. And this one here, we know it reached its highest point because we confirmed that it's starting to come back down. High, previous high, lower high, quarter of a point. That's my logic. That's my logic. Okay. 0.25. Let's go in here and oops, nope. Let's go here. And I'm at a 1.5. And you might be like, that's a high score. This is a great VIX down here. It's down this. I would be a 1.5 over here. And you can see we're in that same basic vicinity. There is not much institutional fear right now. That should absolutely weigh in on us. Let's get the analysis. Okay. VIX. This week's chart for analysis 1/11/26. Go. All right. All right. Stayed the same. Oh, nope. Let's see. Was it below us last week? Oh, yeah. No. Okay. So it also increased its score by 1.25. So we are close. I'm a quarter point below on short-term trend, which is interesting because they basically, those two basically key in on the same thing. If you look at the combined score of short-term trend and VIX, it's almost like its own little mini short-term analysis. I'm a 2.75 and ChatGPT's a 2.75. So we have the same kind of combined. I have the short-term trend a little lower and the VIX a little more. ChatGPT has the short-term trend a little higher and the VIX a little lower. So it's interesting. And we end up at the same place, 4.75. Steven's a 5.0. Yeah, let me know where you finish up. Save this. 5 for Bob Rowland, 5 for Steve C. Okay. It's a good market. 5, a solid bullish score. 4.75, 5. We've seen 6s and 7s. We know how strong that market is and how much fun that is to trade. But we've had some great trades in this 4.75 and 5 market. Some great trades. Okay, so let's go take a look at this week's watch list. Nope, not you. And I can move this back. Come on now. Okay. Starting at the top. With Apple. No. And I've been giving Apple ample opportunity to like try to stay on this list, but for me it's a no. At this point. Let me get my date on this. 1/11. AMKR. Yes. I would love another bite at this Apple. Amazon is a yes. Any of these give us little flag pullbacks. Any of these going to pullbacks are going to be... Now, here's the thing, Gabe. If you're saying you didn't like this volume to get in now, I agree. You can see for me, it's at the end of the road of what this last move would have been. I'm looking for the next consolidation, possibly a flag. That's a great bullish move. So if I got like a 2 to 3 day flag type consolidation and then it broke out of it, okay, let's be ready. But if it just consolidates back down, a lot of times I'll take the halfway point of this, which you'll notice is around this same resistance right around here, 235. maybe by the end of the week, who knows? But this one is getting ready. Any pullback becomes tradable. Whereas AXP, I'm like, wait a second, high and then the same high and then the same high. And it sort of seems to be ramping up with some selling pressure. I'm going to hold off on that one and see what happens. BAC still looks great. The only problem is I have earnings here. I don't know. I mean, it's a couple of days. You could day trade it if you think it's going to catch some bullish momentum in front of the earnings. It's not quite there yet. I'm going to hold off on that one. Citi, same thing. You've only got a couple of days. Caterpillar still looks pretty good, and we know industrials is one that's trying to do better. I'm still going to look at CIEN, but I am very cautious based on the volatility that we're seeing right now. Oftentimes, volatility can escalate at highs. So this could be it. Coherent. This one has got the same level of volatility, and it doesn't have a new high. So I'm a little cautious about that one. I'm going to leave that off the list. Cisco is a no. Delta is a yes. Consumer discretionary, we know, is seeing some strength. That's a good one for us to keep our eye on. Dow looks pretty good. Fox still strong overall. This move is failing, but it could just be that this was actually part of this and it did okay, but not all the way. And now needs a pullback. Cisco, I'd keep it on the burner. Another could. So here's my deal with Cisco. I get what you're saying. I mean, it does look like it's in an oversold position. For me, the reason I'm saying I'm a pass is because I've now identified it as in consolidation. Excommunicado is the way we consider that at this point. Because I think, you know what, I know my lines are horrible today. If it only can get up into this area before it starts to, because it's in this consolidation, I want to see the buyers. If you notice, we've only had these 2 days for buyers in the last month. So I'm a little leery, but I get why you're saying that. It is still on the 100. It is still in a general uptrend. I mean, we'll watch it because it's on the watch list, but I'm not going to put it on the short list. Let's see. GE. Yes. No. Yes. Yes to GE. Industrials resuming trends that can last for a little while. It's a little choppy on a pullback, but still could look good. Gold. I feel it's chopping around too. You don't want to be late to those parties. GM. I still like GM. It got thumped and then it came back and held. So I don't know. We'll watch this and see. I love Google. Needs a pullback though. Google's my best sneaky bull. I mean, it was I got in and it just sort of kept going. I think I can. The little trade that could. Goldman Sachs still looks great. You have an extra day here, but it's just not a lot of time. I'm gonna leave Goldman on just to have a representation. Howmet looks good. Industrials. It's a little choppy, but it's still making new highs. IBM, no. It's just sort of in this, let's draw some lines. And you might think, what about that one? This one got up to here, but it finished in here. So it's in this vein. Maybe you could draw this and say it's just in this type of a symmetrical triangle or, wedge, but it's got to break out and then it's got to pull back. And then I'd be like, yeah, okay, let's go. I'll keep watching it though. Intel. Great trade. We actually got in here. We showed patience because it never broke support. And then we got paid off for that patience. I had a little piece for the last. And whereas I closed, basically, which means I closed up at that high. There's only a week left. Anyone still have Intel? Or has everyone shut that down in a profitable fashion? As long as you made it past this. Once you made it past this, out. Yep. Okay. Friday was a magnificent exit. Back in and still in? Carrying through? Oh, John, you have like the 130s, right? Someone had 130s. We had 116s. We only have a week left. I mean, it's in the money, so you don't have to worry about time decay, but it's out on Friday for Peter. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. ILMNN. ILMN. ILMN Illumina. Yeah. That's a good one, Bob. On the list. I'm adding it. Ooh, volume's a little iffy. How are the options on this thing? I don't want to be like, I love it. And then it comes and it gives me a trade. And then I'm like, but wait. I'm going to take a quick peek at the Illumina options. Trade. Okay, it does have weeklies. I'd be willing to go to February. That's 40 days. Okay, let me show you what I'm looking at. Hundreds with only one area that has thousands, and look at these spreads. Yeah, they're just a little too wide, I think. You're $2, $2.50, $2, $2, $2.50. This one's a little better, but you're down to $2. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna maybe not. If you're trading the stock, it looks nice. Okay. Wait a second. No, that was the wrong. Did I change it? Illumina. Did I have the right one? I think I did. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't, but it's even worse. Yeah, wide spreads on the options. Be very, 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 very careful on the options. Very, 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 very careful. Okay. Where was I? IWM. Okay. IWM does look bullish. Lumentum. I think Lumentum can still hold up. Possibly. It's choppy, but maybe we'll get a trade out of that. Eli Lilly. Yeah. LRCX. Just accelerated again. We'll see. Macy's. Come on, Macy's. Are you going to do something? MasterCard. No. Meta. No. Morgan. I would say yes, but it's, yeah, we'll put it on. I mean, it does have earnings. It does have earnings. Microsoft is down. Micron on the list, but needs a pullback. Remember, this is just like, which ones do we think we would trade if we got like a 2 to 3 day pullback setup out of it, right? Netflix, no. Nvidia. Ooh, Nvidia. Nvidia, it did break out of this consolidation, got to this high. Now the sellers are coming in. They really aren't doing much. That looks interesting. PLTR, we thought might be interesting, and then it's just sort of chopping around now. QQQ. The Real. I still like it. I'm still gonna keep an eye on it and put it on the list. Rocket Lab, yes. We like that one. Have traded it successfully recently. Roku, no. Ross Stores, yes, on a pullback. Some more consumer discretionary strength. RTX, defensive. Defense. stock, I'd say yes, we have a good one of those. Silver. Silver looks bullish, but it's chopping around, so be careful. SanDisk is bullish, but, oh man. Tell you what, we were looking for it. STX, sure, let's keep an eye on that. Teradyne, absolutely. That's the one I'm really focused on from that digital storage group. TJX, yes. Trump doesn't like it. Ooh, okay. Okay, interesting. Hasn't seemed to impact it yet, but yeah, if you get on the wrong side and it just becomes a barrage, you could get yourself in trouble. TSLA, Tesla, no. Maybe on if it gets enough of a move. Taiwan Semiconductor is a definite yes on this. It's already kind of flagging. Oh, except earnings. That's another one. Got to be careful about it. WBD, I'm still a no. WDC, that's a maybe. I'm not going to put it on because it's kind of a chopper, but, and Walmart, yes, looking for Walmart to kind of try to keep that momentum going, had some volume. All right. Good posture. If you came late, posture improved a quarter point on the group side, half a point on the AI side. Nice solid 4.75 on both sides. Good watch list. Oh, ooh, good idea. Oh no, it looks like it's just up $1. Taiwan Semiconductor 323, aftermarket 324, 325. So yeah, it's it's $1 and a half. But it is a $300 stock. Am I missing something? Does that look right for what you were seeing? Okay. And we already talked about trading plans. So there it is, 5 minutes late. Thanks for the extra time. It's great to see everybody. We have a good posture. We have a good watch list. It's a little down, but that's why we're going to go do some searching, right? Because we think that there's some good stocks out there that have probably rotated in that we don't have. So we need to add those in. That's what our plan is for Tuesday and Thursday this week. We know exactly what sector